but if you are a subscriber or if you are going to be a subscriber, you get a discount on your pay-per-view coverage, and you'll be able to watch the Rattler from South Alabama Speedway after we go off air here at Hickory Motor Speedway, or you can flip back and forth. I think they're going to get going at, I think, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Check that out. But we're glad that you're watching this preview from Hickory Motor Speedway right now, and the reason we're back is because we're about to have final practice for the past super late models as they get ready for the Easter Bunny 150. You can look at our Racing America social pages. If you missed race number 1, whoa, we got a car going up in smoke right in time for super late model practice. This yacht goes up in smoke, and I'm sure that's not what the super late models wanted to see, is oil get laid down on the racetrack, but just got the car stopped, most importantly, and got that fire out. But as we said, if you missed our first race of the afternoon, the St. Patrick's Day 150, you missed a lot. Looked like it was going to come down to Cole Butcher, who led much of the race, and Mike Hopkins. They made contact over in turn 2, which also in turn got into Garrett Hall. And that ended the day for Garrett Hall and Mike Hopkins. Cole Butcher was put at the back, and Ryan Moore ended up taking his second St. Patrick's Day 150 win. As I understand, Mike Hopkins is not going to go here in race number 2. That is my understanding anyway. And already scheduled, Jarrett Butcher, Cole Butcher's younger brother, was already scheduled to drive the car number 53 in race number 2, and that is the case. And he was fast in that practice that we had just a little bit ago. I think he was second fast. That is my understanding. Mike Hopkins will not be in race number 2. His teammate will still be out there. That's Travis Stearns. And we'll see those cars on track here momentarily. But as I said, if you haven't purchased your pay-per-view coverage, go to racingamerica.tv right now. Purchase that pay-per-view coverage. And again, if you're a subscriber, remember, you'll be able to watch everything at South Alabama Speedway from the Rattler as well. If you haven't stopped by the concession stand, do so now. Hamburgers, hot dogs, bologna burgers, fries, good cold soft drink. And also don't forget our friends over at KP Cake. That's the trailer over in turn 4. You see they're set up over there in turn 4. You like funnel cakes, cheesecake, but if you really like lemonade, they got great lemonade down there, strawberry lemonade, orange lemonade. Step down to the KP Cake trailer down there. And also don't forget our friends with the souvenir table here underneath the tower. Be sure to grab yourself a souvenir if you're looking for ear protection, flags for the kids. They've got all that for you here at Hickory Motor Speedway. Our next pass event here on Racing America will be the Icebreaker at Thompson Speedway in Connecticut. That'll be April 5th through 7th. That will be available for subscribers. First time the Thompson events have been available for subscribers. And then on April 13th, pay-per-view coverage of the Northeast Classic at the Magic Mile, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Past super late models, along with the American Canadian Tour late models, Tour Type modified, 602 modified, and R&R parts street stock. They'll all be at New Hampshire Motor Speedway on April 13th. If you can't be there in person, you can watch on Racing America. I think Bobby Santos, John McKennedy, a couple of the Tour Type modified drivers that are planning on being there. That's going to be a great show. And we'll have more great pass and act racing for you throughout the season. July 2nd and 3rd, past super late models, Celebration of America at Oxford Plains Speedway, $40,000 going to the winner of that race. That'll be on a Wednesday night. Be sure to check that out. And, of course, final weekend in August, 51st Annual Oxford 250. All right here on Racing America. Right now, the past super late models lining up, and as soon as the track crew gets clear here on the front straightaway, We'll bring them out. Really glad to see the 94 car of Garrett Hall backing out. He was in third place, I think it was, with Mike Hopkins and Cole Butcher got together there at the end of the race. And as Mike Hopkins spun back across the racetrack, he caught Garrett Hall right there in that right side door and took him out of the race, turned him back up the racetrack, and Garrett Hall was not able to finish. But he had a good car, and hopefully that was just cosmetic damage because that car was really good. If you did watch our races on RacingAmerica.tv earlier, this is a whole new show. It's like those races never happened as far as how it affects these races. Heat races, again, totally random draw. Has nothing to do with the last race. Where you finish in those heat races will determine the starting lineup and a whole new qualifying session as well for the mini stocks and street stocks. You may say, well, why are you doing all that on one day? Well, it's actually supposed to be last night and this afternoon. Last night got rained out, got moved to this morning. That's what we had earlier today, and now we're getting ready for the Easter Bunny 150 portion of our broadcast. Again, that'll be on RacingAmerica.tv, but we did want to bring you this preview coverage of final round practice here at Super Late Models for our coverage gifts to pay-per-view. Track should be a good bit different than it was earlier today. A little bit cooler this morning, but now you got more rubber on the racetrack, more heat into the racetrack. I think it'll be slicker, and I think we could see a very different set of race number twos, especially for these past super late models. These drivers have got already 150 laps of racing under their belt. They've been able to gather data and start tweaking on those cars as they get ready to roll out. Or it'll be time to go with our heat races and time trials for the Mass Street Stocks Carolina Mini Stock Challenge Mini Stock. Corey Hall, that was another one who was awful good in race number one. He ran second behind Cole Butcher in that car number 83 for much of the race. Get a look on our Racing America cameras of that speedy drive trail from where Jess Yop lost the engine there between turns 3 and 4. Corey Hall in that 83 car coming back out, loaded for bear here in race 2. So the first group rolling out, that's the 153 of Mike Hopkins. The 53, again, that is Jarrett Butcher. That's Cole Butcher's youngest brother. That is Jarrett Butcher in the 53 here for race 2. 28, that is Bid Rowe. 94, Garrett Hall. 21 is Josh King, the 00, Jimmy Renfro Jr. 47 is Gabe Brown, the 19, Rusty Poland. 83 car, that is Corey Hall. 4 cars about to head out onto the racetrack now. Get this final practice under their belt. Like Joey Wiring heading out on the track now. The 08 of Nicholas Noggle. 12 of Dennis Spencer Jr. AP O.C. Austin, the 24 car, all bringing those cars out now. Like most of the cars are going to be able to go here in race 2. Mike Hopkins, as we mentioned, is not. But other than that, I think Colby Benjamin had to load his car up. Not sure on that. But I think everybody else is going to be able to go. Brandon Barker in the 88 heading out now. Look there at the 28 car. That is Ben Rowe out of the Robinson Racing Stables. Two-time Easter Bunny 150 winner, two-time past national champion. Working around the 12 there, Dennis Spencer Jr. There's the 00 car, Jimmy Renfrew Jr. getting passed by. There's the 12, Derek Griffith. Now, he had a bad draw in his heat race. He had worked himself up into the top 5 and had some issue with that 12 car that prevented him from finishing race 1. He swept the Twins here a couple of years ago at Hickory Motor Speedway, so hoping to bounce back with his second Easter Bunny 150 win this afternoon. Just behind him is the 74 of Ryan Moore. That was the winner of the first race. I see him peeking to the picture here momentarily. That car they're passing, that's the team car, the one Mike Hopkins had. Just saw being passed. Again, if you haven't already, order your pay-per-view coverage on RacingAmerica.tv. You'll get to see the Easter Bunny 150 live coming up here in just a few minutes. And if you missed the first race, that was very exciting. You'll be able to go back and watch that with your pay-per-view coverage. There's the 15 car. That's Travis Stearns. As I said, that's a team car, Mike Hopkins, and the one he ran in the first race. .39 there, that's Max Cooks, and he was another driver that started way back, worked himself up into contention. I think he got all the way up to third, ended up having a burnt ignition wire that ended his day in race 1. I got a feeling he's going to be really good here in race number 2, being followed there by DJ Shaw, who struggled with the handling on that 60 car. They worked through it, though, and he ended up with a top 10 finish. I believe he finished 6th or 7th. as this final practice session for the past super late models starts to wind down. Right now, Max Goodson is the fastest car. We're watching him just a few laps ago. Double zero there is Jimmy Renfrew Jr. Travis Sorrell. Jeremy Sorrell bringing the 77 car out. Remember, he got in a wreck on the last lap of race number 1. He was second on the final restart. Right now, he's behind the 28 of Ben Rose. He had a very good car as long as he didn't damage it too much. He should be good to go again. Watching Ben Rowe right now, just 2 cars out on the racetrack. Here's the 77 of Jeremy Sorrell. And again, he did really good in the first race. Ended up getting into an accident on the last lap, but was second on the final restart. And as I said, hopefully he didn't do too much damage to that car and have something to work with here in the Easter Bunny 150. Ben Rose pulled his car in. Derek Griffith is taking his car out. Derek Griffith. Might have saw Joey Dwyer rolling out on the racetrack as Derek went around. You mentioned Joey Dwyer. There you see the 7-3D Edit Motorsport. Ready to go here in our next event. And again, watch it all on RacingAmerica.tv pay-per-view. If you missed the first race of the afternoon, with that pay-per-view purchase, you'll be able to watch it on demand. Keep that in mind. Looks like the 1 to go indication from our flagman as Derek Griffith has pulled his car in. And now the red and black flags are out. And that will conclude practice here at Hickory Motor Speedway this afternoon. Our coverage is going to end our Freeview. Hope you've enjoyed it. Again, if you haven't purchased your pay-per-view coverage, do so now. Go to RacingAmerica.tv. It'll also give you access to the first race this afternoon if you missed it. And remember, subscribers, when we go off air here at Hickory, you might want to flip over all the action at South Alabama Speedway from the Rattler. We'll be back on RacingAmerica.tv pay-per-view. For now, we'll see you later.